Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing the flywheel on the Hungarian's car. He says you can feel like a rattle with it, so me and the boys at work will get that done today.
Vehicle's up to standard then.
Yeah.
It has got little bolts.
All the bolts.
Holding the other side, so I wouldn't use those.
Yeah. Car is all done and finished. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go and help the Hungarian switch over his wheels to summer tyres, because that's what he likes to do, switch over wheels during summer and winter. I think it's to do with Austrian law and things when he drives to Hungary and back. I probably explained that in the last video, to be fair. So we're going to get it checked up first of all, boys. So as you can see, we've got jack, we've got the lube for lubing up the front suspension, jacking the front driver's side up, as you can see. Turns saying he wants to swap out for summer wheels. Taking the wheels off there. But yeah, as you say, he wants to switch them out for the summer tyres, so if he goes over to Hungary, then he'll be fine driving through Austria. See, jacking it up. That's my new lube profile jack. I say, rear front suspension squeak, like noise. So I think that's around there. So we got under there, lubed it up, and hopefully it should be fine. I think Audi wanted like £45 plus the VAT for it. Like some special lube, and I was like, we'll just get this one. It's lithium grease, so we'll just go with that. But there he is putting the summer tyre on the front one. He did say that we'd need to do like one of the CV boots sooner rather than later, because it's leaking grease or something, so we'll get that done in a future video. And then we're just using the old power tool to get them all tight and stuff, and then we lowered the car a bit to get it took to spec. Remember to spec them to it, because you don't want your wheels falling off, because that's not a fun thing to happen. He's just talking it all to spec. I can't remember what the Audi one was, to be fair, but he's just talked it to spec. On to the next wheel, taking the winter tyre off, or winter wheel off. Fun fact, these all gone into my summer house because he stores them in my summer house. But that driver's side rear shock absorber was misting with oil, so we'll have to see how that does for its MOT. We're on to the passenger side rear. While jacking it up and stuff, we did notice there's some rust around the rear, around the arch of it, so we'll have to investigate that. Well, me and the Hungarian will have to investigate that, so we'll just have to see what we can do. Hoping it's just surface rust, if I'm honest with you. And then, yeah, don't forget to lube up the old where you put your wheel bolts into, so when you need to take them out again, they'll come out reasonably easy, and to stop the wheels from sticking on as much. Talking the wheels up to spec. Now we're getting the passenger side front one jacked up. So I do like my low profile jack, my new one. It's pretty good. It's pretty handy, to be fair to it. The shock absorber is looking a bit crusty, but it's alright. Lubing up the other side now, so hopefully all the squeak will be gone. Talking spec, as we should always do. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, it's going to be about changing the wheels over in the Hungarian's Audi. So the reason he's changing the wheels is because in Austria, where he has to drive through to drive to Hungary, you need winter tyres on, and he's only got like summer tyres on, so we're changing them over for that reason. As you can see, the difference in tread between a winter and summer tyre. This is why we're also changing it, so he's got some more traction in the wintry weather. As you see, the some of them needed pumping up. We should have pumped it up when we had the actual compressor going, but we didn't, so we're using a car air pump, which is fantastic. There's us getting the jacking it up. There's the old Hungarian taking off the wheels, making a little bit of a struggle, but the old locking wheel bar didn't want to come off, to be fair, and that was a pain. But we persevered, got it off. But we had to wander back to the old bimmer to grab like a pry bar and stuff like that. So yeah, then putting the new winter tyre on. As we saw, the old Hungarian marking the old wheels so he knows which one come off which axle. Always a smart move. And then fitting the new winter tyres. Him torquing up the wheels. Remember to always torque them up to the desired spec of it. I did double check as well to make sure. As you can see, there's also a big difference between the rims of it. So midway through changing over the wheels, the Hungarian decides to mention that he has a rattle from underneath the car at the back. So we tried to figure out what that was. We figured out it was rear of the exhaust. Heat shield was rattling around. So yeah, we tackled that. So we ended up jacking up the car, trying to figure out where it was. And yeah, so it was just under the exhaust. As you can see, I was rattling the rear heat shield. So we got the we had some metal cable ties. Luckily, we cable tied it up, and then secured it back in place, and then carried on with the old replacing the tires. That might look like we were copping a fill, but we weren't. We were filling the tire. And to always make sure that you're talking up your wheels. And that was pretty much. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the Hungarian's Audi doing a DSG service. So stay tuned to see how we did it. And this is DSG service according to me. So it shows you how we did it, but roughly, to be fair. So these are the tools we're going to need and oils. So we got all the DSG oil there. We've got the filter as well. The sump plug and washer is in there. This is a fancy tool from Volkswagen we needed. Remember to have the axle stands because we need to get up in the air. This is so we have to remove the air filter, air box and stuff and the battery. This is us just jacking it up and getting the old, the axle stands underneath the vehicle. This is the other side, letting the Hungarian do it. Putting the old jack behind the car so it doesn't roll back, because I wouldn't want it rolling back, to be fair. Removing the battery now. I had like a three-piecer, disconnecting the positive, then negative, and then the battery holder. So there's the battery gone. So we need to get that little metal piece out as well. And then the metal piece is out, and then you can see a little filter housing right in the corner there on the left-hand side. That's where we're going to be replacing the filter. There's the underside of it with the old drain plug. So we pop the old filter out. It didn't look too bad, to be fair, but yeah. There he is. It's not too bad, to be fair, but he's done 50,000 miles, so it's probably 10,000 miles overdue. Got the old, what's the word? Can't think of the word. And we've got the old drainer under there, so we're going to let it drain. Just making sure it was in the right place, because otherwise we don't want it going all over the road, because we are doing this by the side of the road. And we don't want to make it a scene with it. We did have some tarp underneath there as well, just to help us when we're laying down underneath the vehicle, because I don't want to be laying directly on the road. As you see, nice flow from the oil, and then that's one of the plugs we had to remove. That's us with the old bit, putting a new seal on for the old filter housing. Giving it a clean off. Just putting a new filter in there. Popped in quite nicely, to be fair. You have to remove a lot of things to get to it, though. It was a real annoyance to try and get to it. As you tighten it down, I think it's 45 Newton meters. You tighten it down. Well, torquing it down. I didn't get it on camera, but we did do it. This is just us just lightly tightening it down. We talked it, but I didn't record the talking of it down. That's the little adapter that we put onto there to get the filler hose onto it. Like air fed, it was weird. It took ages. It took like a good. Once we got it up, once we got all the things set up, as you'll see in a second, it took us a good old hour for the actual DSG oil to go in. And there's a little setup, sort of like gravity fed. Fill it up with the correct oil and the amount. I think we brought 6 litres, but we only needed 5, so we brought 1 extra. But at this point, it was taking time. Yeah, taking a horrendous amount of time, but you know, we got there in the end. We did lift it up and down to try and get it moving a bit more. Just removing it now. It was a pain to get off though, so like remove it off. And then that's just retightening the old the main plug. Because there's two, one for the main one and then another one for like the overfill, and then there's us putting the battery case or battery holder back, battery reconnected, airbox back on. And it's just us starting it, running it, getting it back to temperature, because once it's at the temperature you have to drain the overfill, and then there's us running it up through the gears. It was heavy sketch, it looks heavy sketch, I agree, but it worked. I think it made some codes come up. It was not a happy Audi, if I'm honest with you, so we had to sort that out and then get rid of all codes, all the old oil. Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing oil change on the Hungarian's Audi. Obviously, as we all know, we need to jack up the car and then put it on axle stands to make sure it is safe and secure. Obviously, this is me showing you underneath the vehicle where we need to take off the under tray to gain access to the sump and sump plug. Obviously, ignore the shaky, sketchy video in there. It is horrendous, but it's just to demonstrate what we're actually trying to get done. Obviously, I don't know why the second clip is super yellow, but it is. And as you can see, the axle stand is under there securely and safely, and the jack is under there as well, just to make sure. As you can see with my sketchy and wafty handling of the video camera, this is underneath the engine with the engine cover off. This is the oil filter. So we just, the oil filter housing, so we just made sure that there was a little bung we took out, so it drained a little bit of that oil out the oil filter housing. So when we took the actual oil filter itself out, it didn't sort of make a horrendous mess. We're just taking a sun plug out at the minute, seeing the oil drain out in a second, and it was black, if I'm honest with you, black oil. Did need a change. The old Hungarian did say to me that the oil he used was cheap oil, so we went with the genuine Volkswagen oil just to try and help it along, though the oil would be blacker because it is a diesel, as we all know. As you could see with the old oil filter being in the oil, where all the old oil was. As you say, boys, always use genuine stuff like genuine sump plugs, genuine oil filters. It will just help with the job, make it easier for yourself as well, because I've had it where it's beforehand. As you can see, the sketchy oil, clean sump plug going in, nice and tight, making sure, just wandering around the old Audi, making sure it's all fine and dandy, looking around it, and then just getting the oil ready for it to go in. Always get it to the correct amount of oil it needs for your vehicle. And I did ask him if he wanted to top up the screen wash and check all the other lights and levels, but he was not fussed. So just make sure we run the vehicle afterwards to make sure the oil pressure is all good and it's running fine and dandy. Then that should be it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and if cabbage can, you can too. Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to go over us replacing the inner CV joint on my friend the Hungarian's Audi. So obviously, first of all, make sure that the car is fully and safely on axle stands and you jack it up correctly. As you can see in the video, it is all just jacked up and on axle stands. And then obviously make sure there's enough height on where the car's raised so we can get the wheel off. So this is just me showing you the how janky and greasy the inner drive shaft was, how bad it actually was and why it needed replacing. Just making sure everything is there. Obviously, as you can see in the video there, where the grease is leaking, it was held on by a cable tie. So I don't know who was in this before, but it was not good, boys, if I'm honest with you. As you can see, the part of the drive shaft was real gunky, greasy, and a bit rusty. So I'm glad we got a new one of that. As you can see, it's been there for a while. And then you'll see coming up the inner part of it, how bad the grease was, how bad it looked. It was not looking good, boys. It looked absolutely trash. This is the new one going on. The internal parts of it, we are greasing up like a good one. I would say it's real greasy. We probably put a bit too much grease on there, but never mind. It is what it is. So to be fair, we probably did over grease it, but never mind. So now we're going to be looking into. Now we're going to be seeing the hopefully finished article with it all back together, looking nice and lovely with all the new parts, and actually with a the proper like clip over it instead of cable tie. So that's all good and fine and dandy. And then this is it going back into, well, this is it on the floor, ready and raring to go back into the actual drive, the actual this normal hole. As you can see, it's back in together. We're just making sure it's all fine and dandy, all tightened up and nice. And remember, boys, to always tighten the nuts and anything associated with the job you've done. As you can see, I tightened up all these nuts. And then you've got the hub bolt that was torqued to spec. Remember to torque your stuff and bolts and things to spec, otherwise you may have an issue later on. As you see, it's nicely in position now, so hopefully it should be all fine and dandy for the future. My boy the Hungarian said it seems to have got better, but it's pretty much fixed, to be fair. So here's hoping he shouldn't have a noise anymore, what he was saying. And then yeah, so it should all be fine, but just remember to spec torque your. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, guys, if cabbage can, you can too.